On this episode of Mad Ginger Customs, we're going to get the nose put back on that International and get some supports in the bed. I know I haven't been on this project for a very long time, but we're back. Let's go. Well, a lot of you asked. I guess let's go. Back on this hog. Airing up tires right now. The last time I worked on this, we couldn't drive it out of the garage because it wouldn't run. It acted like it had no fuel pump. In case you have a Crown Vic or a Grand Marquis and it has an inertia switch. And make sure you have to ground your module. There's a fuel pump control module in the back of these, something to be aware of. If you chassis swap, you need to keep that or your fuel pump won't run. I think what I'm going to try to do is situate the bed, because that is probably the most straightforward thing I have to do, because the nose is going to be difficult. You know, I should have cut the frame horns better. That's on me. I needed to square them up, and I need some type of cross member to mount the sheet metal to mounts, right? So I'm going to make that. I think what we're going to do is get rid of the plastic altogether here on both sides, take everything off, throw it on top of the motor, fit the nose, and then either just make a couple sheet metal panels and put what we need back on. I know I can take a lot of this harness out, and I should have pruned it first. I'm gonna go, as I do this, I'm gonna go through all the things I should have done better, so you guys know, right? Because I've never done this before, and this isn't just a simple, you know, cab swap onto a Crown Vic / Grand Marquis chassis. I actually left the entire floor plate. I'll put links for the videos. It was a lot of work welding it all in. I actually lit the whole truck on fire / car. If I was to do it again, what would I have done? Started with a better cab. I would have done that. And I think I would have taken the whole cab and mounted it onto the chassis. That would have saved me 7,000 miles worth of welding, and I think it would have fit better. My concern was, oh, you know, if I can keep the Grand Marquis dash so it's kind of like modern inside, air conditioning, this. Obviously I lit it all on fire. None of that stuff works anyway. Shame on me. Can I fix it all? Probably, yeah. So the thought here is air up the tires if they'll take air, and try to drive it out of the hole it's in. It hasn't run in, you know, I don't know when the last time we worked on this was, because I don't remember when the last time the video was. That truck motor's pretty much no good. I wanted to do a different chassis swap, but I couldn't get what I needed today, and that's going to be probably a quick one. I bought a four-wheel drive F250. It's a long story. It's a long story. It's the summer, we're dealing with fans. There's no way around it. So, none of this is good. I mean, I just have a bar and then a bar to the back that's just tacked, so this thing teeters just on the piece back here. What I'm thinking is the only thing I really need to do is run a bar from here across here all the way to the other side and tie it in. That'll hold this up, give us some rigidity, and then I could bolt it through the frame, and then I can fish the nuts in underneath, because there's bigger holes underneath in there. If you guys can see that. Then I can push them up through and we can bolt it on, because magnet's stuck. Ultimately, we'd like to take it off at some point, and cleaned it all up. But right now, in the front, I just welded just a piece of square stock in there, some square tubing, and it's just tacked. That was very temporary. So was this. It was just to get the schmedium bed back on. I really don't even know where we ended off on our videos, but so you're gonna measure from here to there. Cut a piece of this. This is 1.5 by 1/8, plenty strong. We'll flap wheel it off, weld it in the best we can, and then we can drill straight through this, straight through the frame, and bolt it in. And this thing will sit nice and sturdy on the back. So all I'm gonna do is just kind of blast these in. Welding blanket, obviously that's a gas tank, so we're not looking to blow the thing up. I've already lit it on fire once. That side is so thin. Probably take some amps out of this. It's not pretty, but it's on there. Spinny. Spin. Stay there. Look over at me. Now this one's bent, so to kind of prod it. I got a gap, but I'm like Evel Knievel up in this P. So we're good. I have no problem bridging gaps. You know, is that supposed to be what you do? No. Fitment is key. That's the difference between a fabricator and myself. We try to weld over the top. Get this width out of the way. You guys know. That's disgusting. But she is, wow. I can't believe how little that did. I mean, how little I added, and it made it so strong. I mean, that's pretty decent. So the other issue is this thing's got these outriggers that stabilize the bed sides. This exhaust is in the way. We're gonna have to do something with this and get that bracket either tied into here, bolted on, or make a new one altogether. I mean, damn, that's a lot. I'm putting all the weight on it too. That's actually good. I like that. I don't have to worry about it bouncing all over the place. There is a bar back here, you know, so that'll be okay. I am gonna have to build some type of frame in here for like either a bumper or a roll pan, or we could build a little hitch like we did on Jess 64. Do I need this? It's like recirculate for the fuel vapor. Is that something I need? I don't know. I ripped the wires out of the plug. I do know where the wires are, but man, guys, I like that. Surprised that even welded. That stuff's so rotted. Trying to work the heavier part of the metal. Went right through there. These bed sides were just all over the place, which obviously this one still is because it's not attached to the other side. And then we're going to join them together. And we're going to build mounts down to the frame here. Can you guys see that? So we'll go right to here with something and come up and hold this. Maybe I'll tie these to these up here. That's not a bad idea. This has to go back a smidge. Oh, we're gonna have to hold on to that one. Hold on to her. Yeah, this one's pushed out quite a bit. We just gotta get a good tack. Hopefully it'll hold it. So when you're doing super rusty metal, or if you're going thick metal to thin metal, they always favor the thicker material, especially when you got old rotted garbage. And I'm gonna probably drag this instead, and I'm gonna spot. So this is still going to move back and forth, but once we drop her down like it's hot, she's not going anywhere. I think real quick I'm just going to throw a tack on these. This is going to stiffen up the sides at the front. I'm going to have to stitch all this back together. Yeah, that's good. All right, let's hit the other side. Well, it's gonna be a short evening. We're out of gas. I slipped a couple pieces of 1/4 inch under there because I remember this thing did kind of sag a little, just a smidge in the back, and I wanted it to be level. That's all welded across. That's got tacks on the ones that are attached to the frame. Now those are just temporary. We got to build mounts off that center bar to go down, and that's going to firm up the sides. And then I'm most likely going to attach those to the ones in the front. And then I got to do something back here. Now I got to get some gas, so I'll see you when I get gas. I don't even know where I left off because I'm working on 3 different videos. I got this thing semi-affixed by building just crossbars that have, these are just tacked. I think ultimately this bed needs to go back 3/4 of an inch. I really want the wheel position, like the wheel further forward in the wheel well, and I want more room, like this is just about touching. So I think all I need to do is just cut the tacks and then cut the one in the back, and I should be able to slide it. The problem is this truck's on an angle right now because my driveway sucks, and the amount of room, like all the driveway's pretty lumpy, and so's the actual floor in there. So what's level? I don't know. Got to build some type of tank situation. I think I may get rid of this tank. I don't know yet. And I think I might put the battery in the back. Let me show you why. Up here, everything's mounted to the plastic wheel tubs. Even the battery tray, right? Because there was a fender support, all that. This all needs to go so I can work on this. This needs to be squared up. Now, granted, I can fill gaps, but I want to put a plate here. The problem with this is I don't remember how far the nose came out. So whether I have to build a bracket like this, you know, to work with the radiator support in the front, but I also need to be able to mount this radiator back in here, and the mounts are all messed up. So I think what I need to do is start there, is at least get this radiator assembly back as far as I can in a fixed. I think I can just do it where it's sitting. You know, it's kind of slanty, but so what? It doesn't matter. I do have the factory mount. Fans running, too bad. And what I noticed is, you know, when I took this off, this is the front hole and this is the rear hole. So I cut the frame way back. So if we take this and we flip it and I use this front hole, that might be enough. That may be enough, just scooching it back, and I can use this and then I'll tack it on the other end of it, because you don't actually need to ever take this out. If you want to take the radiator out, you don't take it out from the bottom, you pull it out from the top. So it's just giving it a pocket to sit in. I think that's easy, so let's maybe try to get that done. I think we can see better what we're doing here. If I need to work in here to build structure, we can. I just grounded this. Oh, look at this wire. Guys, don't use this wire. This is copper clad aluminum wire. This stuff's garbage. Just buy copper wire. You gotta remember to hook that back up or this won't run. Copper clad aluminum wire is garbage. Do not buy that. If it says CCA on it, don't buy that stuff. It doesn't work in an environment where you have anything in the elements. Do not run it outside of a vehicle. It's one thing, I guess, to run it for like stereo wire, but don't run it for power cable. You know, the Harbor Freight winches come with that crap, and mine on my trailer had like 2 pulls on it and it shit the bed. I flip this thing over, right? And that's gonna scooch in here, and this is gonna hold the radiator. Now, is this problematic? Probably. I don't even know if this thing will have enough balls to push this up there. All right, let's just scoochy. Say what you want about these cheap Amazon battery ratchets. This thing is an Aoben. It doesn't have a ton of power, but it's been decent. It's not, I mean, it's not terrible. Let's just put it that way. I took these mounts right off of here. There's 3 in there. I think I can either flip the bracket or modify the bracket, but maybe let's slip the nose back on, because I don't remember where we left off, because if this isn't far enough back, this is kind of all for naught, you know? Oof. So in here, what I'm thinking about doing is, dependent upon how, I mean, this is not, well, it's not that bad. It's really my option. I don't have another growth sport, and these things are unobtainium. So I'm thinking this. I'm thinking about, you know, a piece here, kind of going off the frame, welded in tight, with holes. And then I have these mounts left over. These are from a Jeep CJ. All I really need to do is, you know, put a decent sized hole here so this will sit in here, you know, kind of like this, you know. And then we got the mounts off the frame horn, and then all we got to do is build something here. Now, can we use another piece of this, or do we have to build, you know, something out of like, I don't know how much 16 gauge, I only got like 18 gauge. That 1/4 inch plate, we could just, you know, cut and put it in the brake and then put some gussets, I don't know. Seems overkill, 1/4 inch holding up sheet metal. That step bit's about had it, but it's the fat end. It's sitting right in there, so we can use that, and then we'll put something, you know, some type of mount on top. That'll work, right? Why wouldn't it? Envision it. It's welded here, and then we put the mount right there, boom, and then we build off of that up. Something like that. So there's a tab where there's something mounted right there, so to grind that, I actually had to cut it, chisel it. I didn't want to have you guys watch all that, but it's smooth enough now that I could weld it. I got to take a little bit more of this powder coat or whatever this coating is off up here, and then we're going to come out, and we're going to tack it. Tacky Chan. Weapon of choice today, we're still with the MiG 250. This is like the big brother to the 200. Plenty of videos on that I've done, but if you want to get one of these and you want a discount, they're running a sale right now. You still get my discount on top of the sale price at Arc Captain. So in the description, I'll have a link, and it helps the channel if you buy something from there. So what we're going to do is we're going to fire this thing in there and just tack it, and then probably do the other side. I'm not even showing near. I don't know if I'll even show you that side, but I might, you know, because I'm feeling frisky today. Now, this position isn't necessary critical as long as we get them both on the same side. I want it to favor the front, but not too far. And I want it to be fairly, I don't want it to be at the complete top of that frame rail. So I think I'm just going to hit it once, you know, and then kind of look at it. About there. So we can rip it across, and then down the front, down the back, and then underneath. And that's going to be one mount. You can hear it sizzling in the frame. But that's not going anywhere for now. Let me drop that right there, like that. And then we got a mount, you know? That's gonna be good. Yep, good. Okay, yes. Tacky Chan. Yes, yes. Welcome to my dirty tent. That piece right there. That is 1/8 inch left over. My buddy Frank wanted some frame repair plates made for a Tacoma. And he goes, Dave, just make it out of 1/8 inch and I'll scab it in where I can. And he did the whole thing and came out great. So I have that left over. I think that's all we need to build 2 mounts. So we're gonna build it down here, put a right angle on it, and then build some gussets and weld them in. I know there's fan noise, I get it, but so this is what we're cutting, just right across here, and then zip it in there. It's just 15 here, so 7.5 for each, you know what I mean? Normally we'd plasma cut, and this is so little, just death wheel it, or we use this thing. Maybe we should use this. This is like a metal cut-off saw from Harbor Freight. This thing was like 60 bucks. Obviously not sponsored by Harbor Freight. Let's try this thing. Guys, this thing throws a lot of chips, so make sure you got eye protection on, and make sure you try to go as straight as you can. You don't bind this thing side to side, you know what I mean? But let's see how it does, and I'll try to keep it straight. I'm gonna have to edit that on the camera because it's so loud. I need ear protection. Oof. Sweaty. For the money, you know, I don't know how long the blades will last, but it's a pretty clean cut. I'm sure the GoPro doesn't do well with that, but it's going to make the edges sharp, so hit it with the flap wheel, but it works pretty fast. So I mean, it's easier than taking the plasma cutter out, or it took way less time than doing it with a death wheel. So the problem with this thing is the chips. There's chips everywhere. Like, you gotta go around with a magnet or a good broom, because and it gets in like in your clothes. So just be careful you guys don't bring that stuff in your house, especially if you got pets or kids. I'm gonna clean this up, punch a hole in each one, put a brake on it, then we'll put some gussets in it and figure out what we got to do to weld it in. I actually bent that in my Harbor Freight sheet metal brake that I modified. That was a big video on my channel. Let me take you over. It's just filthy and I don't really use it, but this thing, I bent that like nothing. So if you guys want to make your brake really good, oh, I got a shrinker stretcher. If you want to make your brake really good, go watch that video. I'll put it in the description for you. Goes right in. So all we got to do is build a couple gussets for it. You know, from here to here, here to here. Strengthen this all up. And at least the front end will be on and held up, you know. And then when we work on it, we can actually physically take it on, take it off, and it'll have mounts. That'll be big for me to be motivated to finish this. Good enough. Okay, took the tape and measured from here, that little pad, right to here, and the pad to here on this side, and I made adjustments from there to make sure that, you know, as square as an international grill shell could be, it's at least height-wise square to the frame. Now I'm measuring from here to this hole, and then the same on the other side. It looks like it has to come back this way, maybe 1/8 of an inch. I have enough movement in my mounts to do that. So I think what I'm going to do is assemble this. Well, I'm going to grind that down. And then I'm going to get the welder back over here, and I'm going to weld that on here. I'm going to lean a little bit on it, just so see it, just flex. And I'm going to tack it, bolt it through. And hopefully that'll hold up the front end. Then we got to check if the hood sits flat. It looks like it will, but my son's home, so he can help me do that. I really think the battery should go in the back. What do you guys put in the comments? Do you think the battery should go in the back? Probably. Anyway, let's get the mounts. Okay, and you can see it floating, right? You see it floating over the mount. So I'm going to put a couple more tacks on it. Okay, tacked in. That one's tacked there. This one's tacked here. Obviously I'm not going to push past the jack stands, but I'm going to try to weld these a little bit. The grill shell is pretty rusty, so I'm going to do the best I can on that, just get a couple stitches on it. Now, those are going to be integral in it, but I also have to bring, you know, a crossbar across to support the hood latch. And then I got to build something from here, and I was going to tie it into this. That's why I made these a little long, because I want it to come over and tie it into this. So it has like an inner structure, and that way I can put my hinge back in. That way it'll, you know, lift like it's supposed to lift. You guys always say that I never show Jess going shopping, but she's not. She's going to make returns. She's got things to do, people to see, old guys to torment while she walks around. All right, I hate to see you go, but I love to watch you leave. Okay, bye. That was a challenge. A lot of that was so corroded. I ended up having to like stitch. Some of it was pretty bad. Some of it was okay. Now, if you notice, if you look down, I'll shake it side to side. It's not sitting down. Now, hopefully, if I can pull these out, I don't have to. Maybe I don't have to jack it up, but this all needs to be put back together. But oh boy. Ooh. Okay. That was kind of scary, but let me see what it did now. Well, it could be bolted in. All right. And then this one down here. Probably move the welder. Well, the front end didn't fall off. Oh, it's actually pretty decent. Hey! I think we're getting somewhere. All right. Let me tighten these down so they're pulling tight. And if I need to shift, you know, one side or the other, I will. Pretty happy with that. All right. It's just once it hangs up here, we can do all the rest of the stuff that it needs to have. This is a big step for this build. I'm sorry I didn't finish this earlier, but I didn't. We moved the whole truck now. All right. Hell yes. Hell yes. Wrong grill shell, obviously, but man. The grass is uneven, obviously, but she's a little squatted in the back. I may lift the back up just like an inch and a half. But man, I gotta finish welding the bed down there and the rest of the bed. But that's cool. That ass. That's cool, guys. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this episode of Mad Ginger Customs. It's back on the channel. You guys continually asked for it. I was a little burnt out on it. This was a lot of work. Having it together so I can move it around is awesome. I'm going to build a battery tray either in the bed or under the hood. You guys hit it in the comments. Tell me what you want to see. Building a battery box isn't hard, so we can do that. Maybe we could use a plasma table. I got to finish welding the bed up. I'm going to take the bed, I'm going to cut the supports, I'm going to push it back like 3/4 of an inch. And I think I'm going to get a couple just spring boosters for the back so I can bring the bed up just maybe an inch and a half, because it seems squatted in the back just a little bit. Could also be because the grass is uneven. But guys, I mean, we did this, you know, it was a big job. If you like the content, you can hit the link in the description for the Buy Us a Coffee link and buy 1 cup, 10 cups, 1,000 cups. If you use the Amazon links in the description, channel gets like a small smidgen. And just remember guys, you watch me do this, and I did all of this for the first time. I've never done any of that work before in my life, and we got this far. It actually technically runs and drives, and everything is bolted down. Can you even believe this? So if I can do it, you can do it. Thanks for coming back, guys. I appreciate it.